welcome back. My name is John. First off, my thanks to the 316 of you who stuck around for the past 4 years. I had a lot of fun making regular videos back then, but I've moved on from that point in my life. You may notice that all of the videos that were previously uploaded on this channel have been taken down. When watching those videos retrospectively, most of them felt rushed and poorly edited. To put it simply, I am no longer proud of those videos. Since then, I've still occasionally made videos about projects I've worked on and have posted them on my second channel, but I don't think any of them have warranted a place here. However, quarantine boredom has got me playing Minecraft again, and I can't shy away from a good project. This isn't some great comeback, and will likely be the only video I post in quite a while, but I'm proud of what I've made here, and I want to share it with you all. This project arose out of a need for a VTT, virtual tabletop, for the D&D groups I'm a part of to play on during the shelter-in-place orders sent out in response to the coronavirus pandemic of 2020. After trying Roll20, Astral Tabletop, and live streaming MS Paint, we settled on using Tabletop Simulator. This software, available on Steam for about $20, works pretty well. There are some drawbacks, of course, but there are also a handful of tools that could only ever function in a digital medium. This latter point got me thinking. If we're restricted to online interaction, why not try to make the most of it? What could we use to maximize the immersion and make use of the tools that couldn't be replicated in a face-to-face session? Jokingly, one of my friends threw out Minecraft as a suggestion. I initially laughed it off, but then I started thinking, and then I started working. Now, about 2 weeks after that suggestion was first thrown out, I'd like to present to you the D&D/RPG Toolkit of Minecraft v1.15.2. A collection of tools that allow players and DMs alike to create and manipulate characters and enemies, paint lines, highlight areas, navigate to points of interest with waypoints, and, perhaps most importantly, roll dice. This toolkit comes in the form of a Datapack and Resource Pack, both of which can be downloaded in the description. Tutorials for the installation process are also linked in the description below. As of recording, this Datapack has been updated to version 2.1. It is important to note that the installation and use of this datapack requires a bit of space at the coordinates 0, 255, 0. If that space is being used by another datapack or is occupied by a structure, this toolkit will not properly calculate distances. Everything else will work properly. Once installed, enter into the desired world and type /reload. This message will appear in chat. Here, you have the option of becoming a player or a DM. DMs have access to the entire set of tools, while players are restricted to only the tools I have arbitrarily deemed necessary to play a PC in an RPG such as D&D. The level of access players are granted can be manually edited by tuning the functions found in D&D menu/get main menu and D&D menu/get loadout 1. However, more simply, you can give the players access to these tools by simply dropping them on the desired player. We will first be discussing all of the tools available to the players. As previously stated, DMs also have access to these tools. When you first click the link to become a player, your hotbar will be replaced with these custom items. As with all items created with this toolkit, you can open your inventory and hover over the item to see the instructions for their use. These items represent the main menu. Navigation through this toolkit involves selecting the item slot of the menu you wish to navigate to and pressing the button that would put that item in your offhand, typically the F key. Using this process, I will now navigate into the Character Manager submenu. I can then return to the main menu by pressing F on the main menu item in the 9th slot. Coming back to the Character Manager menu, players will have access to two tools, Move Character and Aim Character. While we will get into character creation during the DM portion of this video, let's assume we have a character ready to go. As a player, if I wish to advance Bingot towards the cake, I will first hold the Move Character item in my hand. Looking around, you can see that any character I hover over with my crosshair is highlighted, and I am prompted to move them. I can confirm this selection by putting the item into my offhand when a character is highlighted. Doing so will project a ghost of where that character originally was. Now, moving my crosshair will also move this character around, drawing a line of particles from the original position to the desired position. As you can see, distance is calculated using the D&D 5e rules of 5 feet per tile. This will calculate up to a range of 600 feet, or 120 blocks. Pressing F again will confirm the movement. Moving a character causes it to face away from the player. Moving on to Aim Character, you will find this tool works much the same. When holding the item, characters are highlighted in blue. Placing the item into the offhand confirms the selection and begins to aim the character. A line of particles is drawn from the character to the block you are looking at. This tool is primarily used to reorient characters to make them look the right direction, as well as to calculate the distance of ranged attacks and spells, and to check for line of sight. This concludes the overview for the Player's Character Manager Toolkit. Migrating back to the main menu and then selecting the dice bag brings us into a submenu with 8 custom items. These textures are from the Binding of Isaac Rebirth and its expansions. They have been upscaled and slightly modified to better fit this toolkit. To use a die, simply throw it on the ground. This datapack uses custom loot tables to randomly select the output of the roll. The dice I've chosen to include are the standard RPG dice, a D2, a D4, a D6, a D8, a D10, a D12, a D20, and a D100. If a roll is made within 3 seconds of the past roll, they will be totaled together, allowing you to find the amount of damage you're doing without having to do any mental math. This is made even easier by stacking the number of dice you wish to roll and then using Ctrl and Q to drop the entire stack, as such. Players and DMs alike have the same dice kit. Coming back to the main menu, we will now investigate the final tool provided in the Player's Toolkit, the Effect Manager. This toolkit allows players to manipulate the physical appearance of their characters. These are incredibly simple to add, usually requiring no more than 7 lines of code. As such, I've added the 3 effects I use most and left the remaining 5 spaces blank so people can add their own effects as they see fit. These are used by putting them into your offhand, which will cause the nearest character to have that effect toggled. Here's Fire being toggled, Bloodied being toggled, and Poisoned being toggled. This concludes the tutorial for the Player's Toolkit. I will now go back into the chat and select the DM's Toolkit and begin to walk you through the additional features. Returning to the Character Manager menu, you can see many more tools have been added. The 3rd slot is now reserved for the Make Character tool. Placing this item into your offhand will turn the nearest non-player entity within 5 blocks into a character that will be recognized by the rest of the system. Once an entity is made a character with this tool, it can be moved and aimed with the tools discussed previously. When an entity is turned into a character, it gains a few properties. All entities are made invulnerable and given the visible custom name of D&D character. This will overwrite previous names. If it is an armor stand, it loses its base plate and gains arms. If it is a mob, it loses its AI and remains still. Undead mobs are unaffected by fire and sunlight unless toggled on by the Effect Manager. If you wish to entirely remove a character from the game, place this item into your offhand. It will entirely remove the nearest defined character within 5 blocks from the world. This process cannot be undone, and this tool should be used with great caution. If you wish to color code the characters in play, you can use these 2 tools by placing them in your offhand to toggle whether a character is an ally or an enemy. A character cannot be both at the same time. In addition to the green and red names, these characters also inherit a tag of D&D ally or D&D enemy, meaning they can be mass targeted with commands. Allies are also affected by the waypoint system, which we will cover in more detail shortly. As a DM, you may wish to make multiple copies of an enemy. This can be done by placing the Copy Data item into your offhand. The nearest character will be marked as the source to copy and paste from. A private message will appear confirming that you have selected the correct entity. Now, you can use the Paste Data item that has been added to your hotbar to copy the data from the source over to a destination character. This destination character must have been made a character in the system using the Make Character tool. It need not be the same type of entity as the source. The full list of copied data includes invulnerable, show arms, disabled slots, pose, invisible, rotation, hand items, custom name, armor items, no base plate, custom name visible, persistence required, no AI, and tags. Advanced DMs can use that last attribute to tag certain monsters and then draw from that subpool of characters. For example, if you first tag your source character as Archer, all copies of this character will inherit the Archer tag, allowing you to teleport all archers to your position. The next two menus allow a DM to draw attention to certain areas by painting lines and particles around the environment. Although the controls default to placing a brush in your offhand to paint, we will explore how to adjust this in the next segment. You can choose to paint with black, white, blue, red, green, and purple blocks and particles. Placing any of these brushes into your offhand will cause paint to appear wherever the crosshair is pointed. The 7th slot is an eraser, which will erase both types of paint wherever the crosshair is pointed. The 8th slot is an Erase All button. Putting this into your offhand will erase all loaded paint from the world. This cannot be undone. This tool is optimized to reduce lag, as it has the greatest potential to cause poor performance. Colors can be stacked, but you cannot increase the density of a single color beyond a defined maximum. This can be turned off in the code under D&D Bpaint and D&D Paint folders within the Datapack. You may find it difficult or unnatural to paint with a toggleable button. If this is the case, navigate to the 9th slot of the main menu and enter into the Settings menu. Here you can switch between painting with offhand and painting with right-click. The latter allows you to paint by holding down the right-click button while wielding any of the paintbrushes. The only drawback of this method is that it may look quite confusing without the resource pack enabled. The final toolkit allows DMs to place waypoints to travel to certain areas. Perhaps a spontaneous fight breaks out in a forest. A prepared DM would have an area suitable for this combat saved to a certain waypoint. A waypoint can be set by holding any of the 8 waypoints and placing them into your offhand. This will destroy the previously saved waypoint. Waypoints are represented by these signs. To teleport to a saved waypoint, simply drop the waypoint you wish to travel to. You will be teleported to that waypoint. If you wish to bring along all of your players as well as their characters and allies, right-click the sign at the waypoint. As a DM, you will often be building environments for your players. The main menu is far too cluttered to allow for efficient building. If you wish to have a decluttered hotbar, place the empty hotbar item in your offhand. Slots 1 through 8 will be cleared, with the 9th reserved to take you back to the main menu. This can be used in tandem with the Saved Toolbars feature of the Creative menu. Here's an example of the Datapack being used to simulate a D&D session with a few of my friends. Minecraft is a wonderful medium for D&D due to the significant number of RPG maps made available online, like the one seen here. This is Land of Adraria, a map made available on Planet Minecraft by Ryuk. I'm sure many of you will find uses for this that I couldn't even fathom. The entire toolkit is available for download in the description. Although it was built for Minecraft version 1.15.2, it appears it may work in earlier versions as well, such as 1.14, although I cannot guarantee this is the case. If there is significant demand, I will make a developer's video explaining how I achieved some of the features shown. I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it. And as always, thanks for watching.